Warning: the content of these videos contains adult themes which may be distressing. Viewer discretion is advised. Everything you are about to hear is taken from court documents, trial transcripts, and various media sources. Hello everyone, and welcome to True Crime with Mystery Maverick. Today we visit a rural suburb in the city of Escondido, California. We travel back to January 1998 and the mysterious murder of Stephanie Crowe. Join me as we establish the facts, examine the evidence, and profile the suspects. As we try to unravel the mystery, who killed Stephanie Crowe? Who was Stephanie Crowe? Born on April 12, 1985, Stephanie was the middle child born to childhood sweethearts Stephen and Cheryl Crowe. She lived in Escondido, California, with her parents and her two siblings, older brother Michael and younger sister Shannon. Her family often called her Steffi for short. Her first word was Dada. Her favourite colour was purple, even though people thought it was light blue, recalls Cheryl Crowe. She loved the movie Titanic and was a big fan of the pop cult group the Spice Girls. By all accounts, Stephanie was a popular young lady who was loved by both her peers and teachers and always willing to lend a helping hand. Her family described Stephanie as a super busy preteen who was full of life. In a 48 Hours interview, Stephen, Stephanie's father, said of his daughter, "She was the kind of person that no matter where she went, she made friends. She was always on the go. I was driving her everywhere." Stephanie's older brother Michael remembers Stephanie as a kind and loving sister who sacrificed herself to help others all the time. Her younger sister Shannon, when asked what Stephanie was like in a local news interview, said the nicest person ever. In that same interview, Cheryl Crowe, Stephanie's mother, shares her proud memories of her daughter always standing up for the different or new students, like the time she waited at the bus stop for a disabled child in her school who was all alone. Stephanie was a true caregiver, and amongst her many ambitions she wanted to become a teacher most of all, said Cheryl. Stephanie would even skip her own break times to help the younger children with their schoolwork. She loved every holiday. If it was on the calendar, she celebrated it, recalled her father. Stephanie loved crafts and would often have the whole family involved in making costumes for Halloween. She even created her own card range for the family, which she branded Steph Mart, and she would hand out on everyone's birthday. Beautiful, smart and kind, the whole family still feels the huge void of her loss many years later. In an interview in the Escondido Tribune, Cheryl said, "I miss her. What a blessing she was to have." The 20th of January 1998 was a typical day for the Crowe family. Stephen Crowe would leave around 6:45 a.m. for work, and Stephanie would leave for school not long after. The other two Crowe children, Michael and Shannon, had been off school that day due to a virus and stayed home with their maternal grandmother, Judith Kennedy, whom had been staying at the Crowe home while she recovered from cancer treatment. Around 2:30 p.m, Judith would leave the Crowe residence and go and collect Stephanie from school. According to Michael, there was nothing particularly unusual that happened that day. He recalls his parents returned from work, they ate dinner, and everyone in the house did their own thing in their respective bedrooms. He recalls around the same time that his grandmother would leave again to go and collect his Uncle Mike, who was coming to visit his mum. As night fell, Michael was helping Stephanie with her homework, and Shannon was bickering with her siblings over the choice of programme on TV, of which she ultimately lost the battle and went to watch it elsewhere. Mike Kennedy would later state in an interview that he left the residence through the laundry room door around 8:45 p.m. that night without locking it. Judith reports to have stayed up watching TV in the living room until 9 p.m. before retreating to Shannon's bedroom. Stephanie and Michael turned off the TV around 9:30 p.m. and Stephanie went and wished her grandmother and parents good night. Cheryl remembers, "She said, 'Night, I love you,' and I said, 'I love you too,' and that was the last time I saw her." The book, She's So Cold, by Donald E. McInnes, details the events that unfolded early the next morning. It was 6:30 a.m. in the morning when Stephanie's alarm began to sound, but unlike most mornings, it just kept ringing. Judith, Stephanie's grandmother, was trying to sleep in, but the constant ringing eventually forced her to get up and make her way down the dark hallway towards Stephanie's bedroom. Judith pushed open Stephanie's door and stumbled over something soft on the floor. Her granddaughter was lying on the floor covered in mud. Judith went back into the hallway and started screaming for her daughter and son-in-law. "Stephanie's covered in mud," she repeated. In his later police interview, Stephen recalls being awoken by Cheryl's mum's screams coming from the hallway. Stephen ran towards Stephanie's bedroom in disbelief. He dropped to his knees and cradled his daughter's head in his hands and wailed, "No, no, no," over and over again. Judith would later say of her son-in-law's reaction, "His painful cries were almost unbearable to listen to." Cheryl Crowe, his wife, would soon follow after hearing Stephen's gut-wrenching pleas. Cheryl immediately held Stephanie's lifeless body in her arms while stroking her daughter's face and reassuring her, "Mummy will make it all better," as she rocked her back and forth. Cheryl, in shock, having found her daughter and realising she had passed, sobbed that she needed to make Stephanie warm again. "Oh, Mum, she's so cold," Cheryl said to an already distraught Judith. "If I can only make her warm again," Cheryl thought in her shock and denial. A devastated Stephen would call 911, breaking down to the dispatcher.
What's the problem? She lay on the floor, she stopped breathing. There's blood all over the place.
A heartbreaking scene was further met by paramedics who had to coax a distraught Cheryl from her daughter's lifeless body. Escondido PD would gather the remaining members of the family into the front room area as they secured the scene. Cheryl would later recall officers stating, "This is not going to be another JonBenet Ramsey case." On the next episode, we delve into the police investigation, the crime scene and the crime scene evidence, as we try to unravel the mystery who killed Stephanie Crowe.